We might have just witnessed one of the greatest months in sports history. So many events were happening, star players were being moved left and right, and the world's greatest tournament started off to a generational start. Legacies were cemented, fans went crazy, and the sports media was in constant frenzy during June of 2026. I believe that this previous June was one of the best months in sports history with all the craziness that occurred. In today's video, I'll break it down from the NFL to the UFC to the World Cup. But before we get into that, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. To start the month off with a bang, on June 1st, Myles Garrett and AJ Brown got traded, shaking the NFL world. Myles Garrett, who just came off a historic, record-breaking Defensive Player of the Year season, was traded to the Rams for Jared Verse and other compensation. Garrett is the best player in the world and just got traded to the Super Bowl favorites, making them a super team. A player that was once seen as untouchable and a Brown forever is now in LA, with a real chance of winning a ring. On top of that, Aaron Donald could come back to the Rams later on this offseason. This trade was very unexpected. However, a couple hours later, a trade that was set in stone in March was official in June, as AJ Brown was traded to the Patriots, giving Drake May a new weapon to play with. The Super Bowl runner-ups just got to upgrade at their position of need. Two NFL stars to get traded in one day was such a banger way to start off June. Speaking of June, when I think of that month, I think of the NBA Finals. This year's NBA Finals between the Spurs and Knicks was the most watched final since 1998. Not only was it a phenomenal series, but we also saw the center of basketball win a chip for the first time in 53 years. We also arguably saw the greatest comeback in NBA history in Game 4 in the Garden as the Knicks erased a 29-point deficit to win the game. The Knicks kept up a historic playoff run, and the Spurs proved why they are the future of the league. Wemby, in just his third year in the league, made the NBA Finals, signaling to the NBA that his era is coming. Lastly, we saw New York celebrate a championship like we've never seen before. The Mecca of basketball got a ring and celebrated like it as they flooded the streets of New York for days. And it felt like such a historic and cultural moment larger than basketball. Congrats to the Knicks for winning one of the most unexpected chips in a dominant fashion. Speaking of flooding the streets of New York, fans from a variety of countries also flooded the streets to watch their country play in the World Cup. For the first time in history, the World Cup has had 3 different hosts in North America, with the US, Canada, and Mexico, alongside 48 countries competing. The World Cup has not disappointed so far and is off to a historic start, especially looking at the Golden Boot race. As the writing of the script, June 30th, 2026, Kylian Mbappe and Messi are tied for first as they each have 6 goals apiece. Messi had a hat-trick in their first game of the tournament, showing why he is the GOAT, becoming the all-time World Cup goal scorer in history. Mbappe is knocking on that door in this World Cup, and he has already been playing at otherworldly levels as France looks to hoist that trophy for the second time in 8 years. Speaking of France, Dembele has also been on fire as he already scored 4 goals, including a hat-trick in one half. However, it didn't stop there. Erling Haaland, despite not playing against France, already has 5 goals. Vini Jr. has been Brazil's star with 4 goals. There have been so many good games, great storylines, and historic performances in only the first half of the best tournament in sports. Now that we are going to the rounds, we are in for a treat. Talking about rounds, why not dive into UFC Freedom 250? This was a very hyped event, not only because of the stat card, but because it was held outside the White House, making history. But the hype coming into this night was due to the card names like Gane, Pereira, Ilia, O'Malley, and Justin Gaethje headlining this historic night. Ilia was on heater heading into this night, and Justin just beat Paddy. Pereira was looking to continue his legacy as he moved to heavyweight, chasing a 3rd title. However, this turned out to be the night of the underdog and shock, as Ciryl Gane knocked out Pereira in the 2nd round, crushing his dreams of getting a 3rd title. And then to continue the night, it was a hard-fought battle until Justin won and stopped Ilia from continuing his UFC dominance in one of the biggest upsets in UFC history. Now the UFC seems to be entering a new era. Who will be the fan favorite after Ilia? Speaking of a new era, the NBA draft also took place a couple days after the NBA Finals. This 2026 draft class looks to be generational, with the top 3 picks looking to be franchise changers in their rookie year. AJ walks into one of the situations the first overall pick hasn't had in a while. The Jazz get their star guard for the future in Darren Peterson, and Memphis enters the post-Ja world with Cam Boozer. Many other franchises look to add foundational pieces to their young cores. The Thunder get Aiden Mara to stop Wemby, while the Spurs get 2 great bigs to back up Wemby to continue their rivalry for the next couple of years. It seems like every team winned in away from this draft because of the quality of prospects. The Kings hopefully got their point guard of the future in Darius Acuff. Chicago looks to be building a high-flying team pairing Buzelis with Gale Wilson, and the Lakers get the perfect player alongside Reeves and Luka and Cameron Carr. While this wasn't one of the most exciting drafts or shocking drafts in past years, there is no doubt that this draft class will make a large impact in the next season. I wouldn't be surprised in 10 years from now we look back at the 26 draft class as the best of the 20th decade. To have that occur in June only adds to the craziness. The day before the draft, what seemed impossible came to fruition as Giannis was finally traded after years and years of trade rumors and Photoshop dirty swapped with multiple teams as he finally lands in Miami. The Heat got their biggest and best superstar since 2010 when LeBron joined South Beach. The Heat finally get their big fish as they look to dominate the East again. And after months of speculation, this trade went down very quickly and early on into the offseason. For a player that seemed like he would be a butt for the rest of his life is now in Florida. The greatest player in franchise history has now left Milwaukee and as they head into a new direction for the first time since 2013. To add to the craziness, the Celtics missed their chance to get him because they didn't want to get up Hugo Gonzalez. A pairing of Tatum and Giannis would instantly be title favorites. Giannis finally has another chance to win another chip again with one of the best coaches of all time and a second superstar in Bam. The Heat just have to fill out the roster to become serious contenders. It seemed like Giannis was the first domino to fall as other teams were waiting for this trade to happen to make their own moves. For the Bucks and the Heat, it is the end of rumors, storylines, and speculations as both teams walk away complete. As one storyline was wrapped up with Giannis, another one was reopened as Kawhi was traded back to the Raptors. Kawhi in 2019 went on one of the greatest single-season runs in NBA history, bringing home the O'Brien to Canada for the first time in history. Many people thought he made a mistake in leaving for LA, and after 8 years of failure, he finds himself back in Toronto with a completely different squad. Toronto just came off a very impressive season, especially in the playoffs as Scotty Barnes played his heart out. Now pairing him with Kawhi creates one of, if not the best defensive duo in the league, and one of the best duos in the league, period. Kawhi, the darling of Canada, is now back, giving the Raptors hope again to win another championship. The Clippers get good compensation to help with the rebuild, and the Kawhi Leonard era is now over. With Keaton Wagler, Darius Garland, and Benedict Mathurin, they have an interesting young core for the future. But just the storyline of Kawhi getting traded and wanting to go back to the Raptors is a landmark moment in a month with crazy moments, such a Cinderella story for Kawhi and the Raptors. However, Ja Morant and the Grizzlies didn't get their storybook ending. The Grizzlies, with the selection of Ken Boozer, have taken a new direction, shipping Morant off to the Blazers for pennies on the dime. The 2022 Grizzlies are officially over, and that era of Memphis basketball is just a memory. After saying he was fine in the West, Morant got passed by Ant and SGA immediately. It has been such a fall from grace for Ja due to injuries, off-court issues, and coaching conflicts, and this trade seems to be the nail in the coffin. The Blazers, after making the playoffs and putting up a decent fight against the Spurs, now add Ja to a heavy guard rotation. It will be very interesting to see how this will pan out. Ja's end in Memphis was quite ugly, but not unexpected, as we knew it was all coming to an end. The trade package seems disappointing for a player once deemed to be the next face of the NBA. If you told me in 2023 Ja Morant would fall off this hard in only 3 years, I would be shocked. On the flip side, a player coming off his best season with a team that looked great down the stretch was shockingly traded, and the Hornets traded their franchise player LaMelo Ball to the Wolves. Unlike the Morant trade, this came out of nowhere, as in a matter of 24 hours it went from rumors to it being official. LaMelo and the Hornets were rolling with the best offense in the league at the end of the year, and the Hornets just gave up on him. Similar to Giannis, there were always rumors of him leaving, but it never seemed feasible. For the Wolves, they entered a brand new era with LaMelo, hoping to keep Ant happy and on the team after watching Cat win the finals. We get one of the most entertaining backcourt duos in a while, on and off the court, as LaMelo is a seamless fit into the Wolves. With a couple more moves around the margins, they could easily be in the same tier as the Thunder or Spurs. The Hornets, confident in Miller and Khan, enter a new era as well, banking on the development of them and their philosophy of immense three-point shooting. LaMelo leaving Charlotte was quite unexpected, but it definitely shook up the hierarchy of the West for sure. Lastly, one player to shake up the hierarchy of the NBA, dominate the headlines, and bring eyes to the sport even at 41 is LeBron James. LeBron recently announced that his time with the Lakers is over. After an 8-year roller coaster, the LA era is over and the Lakers are moving on with the Luka Doncic era. LeBron is open to joining any team in the league as he could truly shake up the NBA with this move. He could join the Warriors with a potential AD reunion playing with Steph and Draymond in their retirement home in the Bay. He could go back home to Cleveland and fit nicely alongside their big four to put them over the hump. Or he could even go back to Miami and team with Giannis to form a formidable trio in a dream scenario. LeBron's announcement that he was leaving the Lakers for a potential last season has shook up the NBA world in the last couple days of June. There has been so many things that has shaken up the sports world. June rarely fell asleep as players were being moved, legacies were being written, history was being broken, all at the same time as the most watched event in human history started off to a generational start. I didn't even mention the Hurricanes winning the Stanley Cup, Julius Randle being traded and ending his era in Minnesota, or Marina Mabrey tying the WNBA scoring record with 53 points. In 30 days, the sports world was changed constantly, and the media and fans never seemed to have a dull moment across all sports. When we look back at this year, and we look back at the 2020s decade as a whole, June 2026 will go down as the greatest month in sports history. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe.